Okay, 2 people, that's pretty good. Up early, again. So I hopped on to this, hang on. I hopped onto this website. If you can reach it, war.gov space, and just put space UFO, just Google this. It'll take you right to the documents. So I thought, you know what, these are kind of pretty under dramatic. So I went to the very end of it. And that's where they got the NASA stuff, which is pretty good. So let's go first to Apollo 12. For the record, there it is, the lunar surface. This is what NASA wouldn't show you because they can't explain it. Remember, the moon is hot as a cup of coffee. So what the hell is that light up there? What is it? Apollo 12, 1969. Let's remove that, and I blew it up. So stop screen. Present, share screen. That's not it. Here we go. This is it. Brace yourself. Now look at that. No wonder NASA didn't want to show it. Doesn't that look like the triangular UAP? Of course, they call it a unidentified anomaly. But what the hell is that? That's a craft. Or an interdimensional travel vessel. That's something. That's and plus they put in a transcript of now this is Apollo 12, 1969. Interesting, huh? Let's remove that. This is going to be a short video. 2 people were on, now they dropped off. 0 people. But I'm putting this up for the record on the TheHolidayMan channel to help me see if it gets any views. Okay, so now let's go to Apollo 17. And that was 1972. Oh, look at that. What the hell is that? Now, it is so bright, you can't even see stars. The moon is all lit up. So it's close and it has its own light source. And it's hovering. Apollo 17, 1972. So let's see. I think I got a close-up of this one, too. I think it's fascinating. I think it's very interesting. Share screen. Well, we got here's the UAP. Come on. 1972. Why wouldn't NASA show it to us back then? Because they can't explain it. So they also have dialogue with this, NASA Apollo 17. Let me read you some of the dialogue between the lunar craft and Houston. Okay, let's see. Okay. The command, the CDR, whatever that is, say Bob or Stu. Roger, go ahead. Now that's Houston. And then here's one of the astronauts. Okay, add to today, not last night, but I guess the first night I was in bed. I definitely saw some of these because I heard I had a hard time going to bed to start with. I saw some of the same peripheral horizon type things you said were not the type of data you were looking for. But I also saw some sets of the streaks. And probably the one most imposing thing I remember is, and the last one I remember before falling asleep, was the fact there was a very bright spot that flashed right between my eyes, like a very bright headlight, like a train coming at you, only with a flash. It's difficult probably to estimate the frequency of any of these because I was in a sort of sleep hazy mode. Roger, Houston. It says Houston. But then again, as today, I saw some that flashed and lit up the horizon and some that lit up peripherally. And I guess, as you say, there's a different kind of data, but I did see them there and they impressed me. And it might be interesting to know, I've never seen it before today. Now, they have this highlighted in the text, in the transcript of the tapes. And let's see, Roger. Okay, now they're going back and forth. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Hey, Bob, I'm looking, he's talking to Houston. I'm looking at what Jack was talking about, and it's definitely not a particle. That's nearby because there is another one I can look at and get a three-dimensional comparison with. It's a bright object, and it's obviously rotating because it's flashing. It's way out in the distance, as I say, because there are particles that are close by, and it's obviously not one of those. It's apparently rotating in a very rhythmic fashion because the flashes come around almost on time. And it's I got to clear my throat. Hang on. I had some milk on my cereal. Comes around almost on time, and it's as we look back at the Earth, it's up at about 11 or maybe 10 or 12 Earth diameters. I don't know whether that does you any good, but there is something out there. Roger, this is Houston. We don't doubt it, Gene, and we might work out a set of gimbal angles or something here. Maybe we can get a look at it through the optics. Back to the capsule. Okay, I just want to emphasize it's definitely not one of those particles that tends to look like a star out there. It's something physical in the distance. Laughter. That's got to be a nervous laugh. Oh, yes. Okay, now he continues further down. Okay, I'm looking at it out the center window, the hatch window, and I'll give you a hack when it crosses the double X axis at the center window, and I guess it's up maybe 45 degrees. All right, isn't that interesting? Bob, a couple of revolutions ago when I was looking at it, I had a much brighter view, and I believe I was looking at it broadside. It looks to me like it may be flashing more or less end on now. It's much not as bright, although it's getting brighter, but it's not as bright as it was a while ago. Roger, Jack, we've been noticing that I think for about 24 hours or so, I just hadn't put it together as maybe being the SIVB. I thought it might just be some other particle out there. And then they talk about a football score. All right, transcript, Apollo 17, 1972. Now that, to me, that's inexplicable. That's what we see down here on Earth, right? The triangle thing. But let's go back to Apollo 12. That was the best shot that I could find. Get rid of that. Stop screen. Present. Share screen. Apollo 12. This ain't no asteroid. This is no... I mean, look at that. Apollo 12, 1969. From the surface, the lit surface of the moon. Unidentified anomaly. Any comments? We got one person watching. Anyway, for the record, I thought I'd throw it up there. And again, if you want to check this out, there's 17 pages of this stuff. You go to war.gov and then space UFO. When you bring it up, they have the photos, but underneath the photos, they have all the documents with with better photos, very high grade photos. So if you drop down, so I thought I'll go to the end of the thing, right? Because they're going to put the boring stuff up front. The NASA stuff is pretty good, but that is definitely a UAP. Open borders, of course they will. Dr. Bob, if there are ETs, will the Democrats let them vote? Of course, as long as they vote for the Democrats. What do you think, Dr. Bob? Are you a believer now? I mean, why wouldn't they just share that with them? Because America wasn't ready. And if it wasn't for Trump, we wouldn't have these. Now the cat's officially out of the bag. NASA wouldn't share that with us. Fascinating. Fascinating. Here, you want a link, Dr. Bob? But no pots and pans, please. It's so nice outside. I decided, well, I'll do a little yard work before I do my coffee. And then when I started pulling these up out of the government site, I thought, holy shit, this is definitely a UAP. Has to be. Bed? Okay. Now we got a second person. This is Apollo 12 from the surface of the moon. Let's take the wide shot. Oh, I guess it was all done in Hollywood. Yeah. I forgot about that. Share screen. Bum, bum. Okay, that's what we're looking at. Well, I didn't show it to you. Surface of the moon. Apollo, I think that's Apollo 12. Amazing.